Moving now to a CBS News investigation tonight. There are believed to be more than 600,000 opioid addicts in this country. Tonight, we look into a scheme that is preying on many of them just for profit. It involves Naltrexone, a drug that curbs cravings. The FDA did approve it in some forms, but not as a surgical implant. That has not stopped questionable recruiters from paying addicts hundreds of dollars to have the surgery. And doctors are billing insurance companies tens of thousands of dollars, as we discovered.
He said from the very, very first time I used heroin, the very first time, he said I was hooked.
In March 2016, Debbie Berry of Ashland, Missouri, got a text from her 22-year-old son, Brennan, that no mother wants to receive.
He texted me and said that I have a drug problem, Mom. I'm in trouble.
Desperate to help her son, Berry got him into treatment in California. One day he called her from a doctor's office to tell her he'd found something to help.
He said, I'm going to get an implant put in. I'm here with them and they've done a pre-certification that your insurance will pay for it.
It was a Naltrexone implant, a small pellet inserted near a patient's abdomen. It releases medication that blocks the brain's opiate receptors. So if Brennan used heroin, he would not be able to feel the effects.
He was so adamant about how much it would help him.
Did you know he was getting paid for it?
I absolutely did not know he was getting paid for it.
A CBS News investigation has found vulnerable addicts like Brennan Berry are being paid hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars in cash to get this 30-minute outpatient procedure.
You don't give a drug addict cash money.
Industry insiders tell us doctors can make up to $30,000 for each simple surgery. And the money is so good, some doctors hire marketers. And some of those marketers employ recruiters who lure patients with cash. We found a recruiter calling himself Carter on Craigslist.
Oh, hey, I was looking for Carter.
And we arranged to meet him at a Hollywood grocery store posing as a potential patient. He told us the implant had saved his life.
I had a heroin addiction about 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's bad.
I was on and off, but I'm a little bit over a year clean now, because
Congrats.
of this implant.
Yeah.
And as long as insurance would cover it, he'd pay us cash too to get one.
I'll pay about $750 for that.
$750?
$750.
Carter is far from the only one recruiting patients for cash.
I found a way to not sell drugs and make twice as much money.
John, a former marketer and heroin user who is now sober, agreed to shed light on this expanding illegal practice if we disguised his identity.
I would find anybody who was vulnerable, and I went up to him. I said, hey, this really helped me out. This is how I got sober, even if I wasn't sober when I was saying this.
Not only did John recruit patients to get implants, he got them himself.
The first one I was paid $750. The second one I was paid $1,500. I was paid $2,000 for the third implant. And I got the third implant while I already had the second implant.
John says 2 of those implants were put in by a Beverly Hills doctor named Randy Rosen, the same doctor who did Brennan Berry's implant surgery.
His name is Dr. Rosen, Dr. Randy Rosen.
That recruiter from Craigslist had also told us about him.
Excuse me, Dr. Rosen?
Rosen declined our request for an interview, so we tried to catch up with him outside his office.
But we've been wanting to talk to you about why patients are being paid to get surgeries.
Through his attorney, Dr. Rosen told us he has nothing to do with that Craigslist ad, and he has no idea who Carter is.
This is private property. Gays are not allowed to come in here.
He also told us all patients must sign this form stating they have not been paid to get the implants. As for Brennan Berry, 3 months after getting his, he overdosed after taking heroin mixed with fentanyl.
I came home and found him. I'm in his bedroom and he was gone when I got here.
You saw him struggle with this.
And you wake up every day and you have to fight every day not to use or not to drink. They say it's one day at a time, but it's every second of every day. And he did. He fought it.
After he died, Debbie Berry learned her son was paid $1,000 to get the implant.
You don't pay somebody to have surgery. You don't prey on vulnerable people who are trying their hardest to stay alive and have a real life again.
Dr. Rosen's clinic billed Debbie Berry's insurance $59,000 for the surgery. The plan was willing to pay only a small fraction of that. Rosen's attorney did not tell us whether the doctor hires marketers.